Hi, welcome to Big Ted's Home and Garden. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Huepar SG800 paint sprayer. This 800 watt electric paint sprayer with separate motor and spray gun can give you a professional looking finish in a fraction of the time it takes to use a brush or roller. In this video we're going to be looking at what you get in the box, how to assemble a paint sprayer, its key features, and I'll show you the Huepar paint sprayer in action. This paint sprayer came from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. And some of the recommended applications include spraying walls, spraying fences and spraying furniture. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. First thing we see is a packet of paint strainers. You can use these to filter out any lumps or bits which might block the nozzle. Then down the side we've got a bag of bits. So you can see there's a viscosity cup, a gasket and some nozzles. We'll look at that bag in more detail shortly. It looks like there's a spare filter in there as well. And then coiled up on the right hand side, we've got the air hose. The hose connects the motor to the spray gun. It's 3 meters long, so it means that you can put the motor on the floor while using the spray gun to spray the walls or fences, etc. On the right hand side, we've got the spray gun itself, and attached to it is the paint container. The maximum capacity of the container is 1300 millilitres. And in the bottom of the box, wrapped in this plastic bag, we've got the motor unit and the power cable. The power cable is 2 meters long, and in the UK it's supplied with the UK 3-pin plug, so you can plug it straight into the mains and you won't need an adapter. Finally, we've got the motor unit. I'll just remove the bag. Like the spray gun, the motor unit's made from ABS plastic, so it should be fairly robust. You can see the Huepar branding there. On the top, we've got the on-off switch. The switch is underneath a plastic cover, which will give it some protection. On the front of the motor unit, we've got the air inlet. If I take the cover off, you can see we've got an air filter under there. That's removable, so you can wash that out or replace it with a new filter. There is one supplied with the kit. The cover then just clips back into place. On the back of the unit, we've got the air hose connection. The air hose pushes into here to connect the motor to the spray gun. And then last but not least, right in the bottom of the box, we've got the instruction manual. The instruction manual is printed in 5 languages. We've got English, German, French, Italian and Spanish, and it's actually quite good. Lots of useful information regarding things like paint viscosity, for example, and how to test it. So they're the contents of the box. If we look at the spray gun, we'll see that on the front of the spray gun, held in place by that green nut, is the air cap, and underneath it the nozzle. The air cap's used to select the spray pattern. On the back of the spray gun we've got the hose connector, which connects the spray gun to the motor unit. The green knob that you can see there controls the amount of paint that's sucked up from the tank into the airflow. Unlike gravity-fed paint sprayers, this paint sprayer works in the same way as a foam cannon that you might use to clean your car with a pressure washer. The flow of air over the paint inlet creates a partial vacuum which pulls paint up from the tank into the nozzle. The air cap on the front can then be rotated to give you either a round, a horizontal or a vertical spray pattern. I'll give you a demonstration of that later in the video. There was a bag of accessories which were supplied in the box. Let's open that up and take a look. In there's a viscosity cup, 3 spare nozzles, all different sizes. There are 2 replacement gaskets to seal the paint tank to the spray gun. There's a spare air filter, there's a shoulder strap, a cleaning brush, and a cap for the tank when it's not in use. I almost missed this, but there's also a little pin for cleaning out any blockages in the nozzles. 4 nozzles are supplied. 1mm, 1.8mm, 2.6mm and 3mm. To change the nozzles you remove the green nut, and then you can take off the air cap as well, and then the nozzle just pulls out. Select the nozzle you want to replace it with. The sizes are actually engraved on the metal, and then there's a lug on the nozzle which will help you locate it on the front of the spray gun. You can then put the air cap back in place and screw on the nut to hold it all together. As I mentioned before, the air cap's used to control the spray fan. It rotates into 3 positions. With the projections in a vertical position, you'll get a horizontal spray fan. If they're horizontal, you'll get a vertical spray fan, and the diagonal position will give you a circular spray pattern. One nice feature of this spray gun is the tube which goes into the tank. It's angled to sit in the front or the back of the tank, and you can change its position if you're spraying above or below the horizontal. So you'd have it in this position if you're spraying down, and swap it round so that the tube's in the back of the tank if you're spraying above the horizontal. You may have noticed this green button on the top of the spray gun. If you depress that, you can detach the front and the back of the spray gun for cleaning. You only get paint in the front of the gun, so being able to detach the back makes it easier to access the areas that you need to clean after use. The 3-metre air hose has a slightly different size connector on either end. The bigger one attaches to the motor. There are 2 lugs, you can see there and there, which help you locate it on the back of the motor. So that just pushes into place. And the other end pushes into the back of the spray gun. There's a loop in the front of the motor unit to take the handle of the spray gun. And you can see that the handle of the motor unit is recessed so that the hose sits into it neatly. So everything's very stable when it's not being used. So that's everything assembled. Let's try it out. To get the best results from a paint sprayer, you need to use paint of the correct viscosity. It's unlikely that you'll be able to use it straight out of the tub. This is where the viscosity measuring cup comes in useful. You simply fill the cup to its maximum 100 millilitres capacity and time how long it takes to drain through the hole at the bottom. The thicker the paint, the longer it takes. For most paints and varnishes, you should be looking for the cup to drain in between 20 and 40 seconds. If it's too thick like this one, you'll have to dilute it either with water for water-based paints or solvents for oil-based paints or varnishes. This is the sort of consistency you should be looking for. I timed this at 25 seconds to empty, which is bang in the middle of the range we're looking for. Once you're happy with the viscosity of the paint, you can fill up the tank and then attach the tank to the spray gun. Plug the motor into the electricity supply and we're ready. As I mentioned before, there are 3 spray patterns. I'm going to start by setting the blowers diagonally. This will give us the round spray pattern. This is useful for small areas or for edges where the other spray patterns might not give you an even coating. I'm then going to reset the blowers into a vertical position. This will give us a horizontal spray pattern. And then finally, if I reset the blowers so they're in a horizontal position, we'll get a vertical spray pattern. The horizontal and vertical spray patterns allow you to cover a large area in a shorter time. To give you an idea of how quickly this paint sprayer will spray a flat surface, I've marked out an area of 0.75 square metres. Now I timed that at 32 seconds, or just under 43 seconds per square metre. Using the vertical spray pattern and spraying horizontally, it took me 21 seconds to apply a second coat, which is equivalent to 28 seconds per square metre. So you can see the paint spray is much faster than using a brush or roller. Though obviously you have to factor in the time taken to get the right viscosity of paint and also masking off areas that you don't want overspraying. But you can see here you get a good finish. And this spray is ideal if you've got large areas that you want to spray quickly. This was a first attempt with this paint sprayer, and obviously the more I play around with it, the better I'll get at using it. But first impressions are very good. This paint spray is well made, and once you've assembled it, Even a beginner like me can get good results using the default settings. I have a few different jobs lined up for this paint sprayer over the next few months, so look out for updates on Big Ted's Home and Garden, where I'll show you how this paint sprayer performs over the longer term. I'd like to thank Huepar for supplying this SG800 paint sprayer for review, but I must remind you, like all reviews on Big Ted's Home and Garden, this review is 100% independent. So I hope you found this useful. If you have, leave a thumbs up. Any questions, leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to Big Ted's Home and Garden. I'll see you soon.